Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village nestled between rolling hills and dense forest, there was a mysterious event that would change the lives of its inhabitants forever. It was a cold winter's night, and the village was blanketed in a thick layer of snow. The air was crisp, and the only sound that could be heard was the soft crunch of snow underfoot and the occasional howl of the wind. In the heart of the village stood an old, abandoned church. Its once grand structure was now crumbling, and the stained glass windows were shattered, allowing the cold wind to whistle through. It was a place that the villagers avoided, believing it to be haunted by the spirits of those who had passed away. One fateful night, a young couple, Thomas and Eliza, were returning home from a late-night visit to a neighboring village. As they passed by the old church, they heard a faint cry. At first, they thought it was the wind, but as they listened more closely, they realized it was the cry of a baby. Fearful but curious, they approached the church. The door creaked open, and they stepped inside, their breath visible in the cold air. There, in the middle of the aisle, lay a small bundle wrapped in a thin, tattered blanket. The baby's cries grew louder as they approached, and Eliza's heart ached at the sight. Thomas knelt down and gently picked up the baby. The child's face was red from crying, but as soon as it felt the warmth of Thomas's arms, it quieted down. Eliza quickly wrapped her scarf around the baby, trying to shield it from the cold. "Who would leave a baby here?" Eliza whispered, her voice trembling with a mix of anger and sadness. Thomas shook his head, his eyes scanning the empty church. "I don't know, but we can't leave it here. We have to take it with us." The couple hurried back to their small cottage, where they lit a fire and warmed the baby. They fed it some warm milk and wrapped it in a soft blanket. As the baby drifted off to sleep, Thomas and Eliza sat by the fire, discussing what to do. "We can't keep it," Thomas said, though his voice was filled with regret. "We barely have enough to feed ourselves." Eliza nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. "But we can't just give it away. What if it ends up in a worse place?" The next morning, the couple decided to take the baby to the village elder, a wise and kind woman named Margaret. She was known for her ability to solve problems and help those in need. Margaret listened carefully to their story, her eyes filled with compassion. "You did the right thing by bringing the baby here," she said. "We will find a way to care for it." Margaret called a meeting of the village council, and together they decided that the baby would be raised by the entire village. Each family would take turns caring for it, ensuring that it would never want for love or attention. As the years passed, the baby, named Hope by the villagers, grew into a bright and cheerful child. She was loved by everyone and brought a sense of unity and joy to the village. The old church, once a place of fear, was repaired and became a community center where the villagers gathered to celebrate and support one another. Hope grew up knowing that she was special, not because she was abandoned, but because she was loved by an entire village. And though she never knew who her birth parents were, she found a family in the hearts of those who had taken her in. And so, the story of the abandoned baby became a tale of love, community, and the enduring power of hope. Let us hear from you on the comments below. Subscribe, like and share this video, and do not forget to click the notification bell for more of my stories.